On First News today, my friend Roger Blakely, who is the park superintendent for the city of Yuma, is my guest. And we're talking about a wonderful project that's coming about. Behind us is a very barren-looking area, but not actually barren, but a lot of dead, burned wood here. And Roger, what is this area we have here? I understand that it's owned by the city of Yuma.
Well, this used to be the city landfill a long time ago. And what it's done is it's been closed for some time, and we're trying to develop the river. And part of this is to develop this area behind us. And what happened was in 1996, this area burned off with a forest fire. We want to reforest this area and build a wetlands preserve here.
Now, this is a big undertaking, Roger, and a lot of dollars are going to be involved in this. Where do the dollars come from?
Well, we've applied now for two particular grants, and one was for $600,000, the other's for $100,000. We have about 3 more grant areas to go with to try to find that money. Some of that's out of lottery funds, some of it's out of environmental mitigation, some of it's just grant money from different agencies that want to see wetland preserves built.
And we overlook taxpayers this time.
Well, we're trying to do as much as we can outside the taxpayer, because it seems like always getting hit and hit double. And if there's a federal fund out there, we've already paid that money. We want it to come back to Yuma instead of going out to California or someplace else.
Roger, what a wonderful project. What's your concept of what's going to be happening here?
Well, the first thing that you'll see is about 4,000 trees planted in the wetlands area. We'll have some dredging back areas, some backwater areas for fishing and for boating, and then you'll see trees planted, and then we'll build the walkways around that. And as those trees grow up, we'll encourage birds and wildlife to be there, and it'll be your chance to actually observe wildlife in its natural setting without being in there and rustling them around in the trees and that kind of thing.
You're going to also capitalize on the fact they're going to dredge the river. At least we assume they're going to dredge the river.
Well, I'm hoping that the Bureau of Reclamation is going to dredge the river, and they are. And as they bring the dredge down, instead of paying those costs to have a dredge brought here, we'll use the dredge that they brought down, and then we can just dredge our little piece, and that way we provide some flood control as well as providing some nice backwaters for fishing and those type of things.
And that'll all be part of this big park complex, right?
Right. You're going to see some pretty increased flows in the river in the next few months, and as that happens and as we get ready for the snowpack in the Great Basin, we're going to be able to take advantage of some of the Bureau of Reclamation's operations here.
Now, recently you had a big cleanup project. You had a good turnout. It was a wonderful thing.
Right. It's our community. We've been waiting 30 years to make this river happen, and now we're seeing it happen. And the community wants it, and we're making it happen.
Roger, let's talk a little bit about the new riverfront park. It got a little bit inundated with water.
Well, it did, and we'll continue to see that, the flows up and down, especially now that they're worried about, we're going to have El Nino, the biggest El Nino we've had in 50 years. We have this hurricane coming in and out. The people are worried about, the Bureau is worried about the river being flooded, and we don't want critical, dangerous releases to the farming industry, especially because it drives the groundwater up, which causes death to the farming industry because the roots die and that brings the salts up.
So now you were going to do some things along the river, but the things are safe now in spite of the high water.
Well, we're hoping that the dredging operation does a couple of things. Number one, it channelizes the river. Number two, it drives the groundwater back down. And number three, it allows us to build a wetlands preserve.
What are you going to call this park?
I don't know yet. It's still under construction.
Maybe a contest. You decide what the name is going to be. I'm George Gatley with Roger Blakely, Superintendent of Parks for the City of Yuma, at a brand new park that you're helping to build. I'm George Gatley, and that's First News.